Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Unknown Podcast. My name is Joe, and I'm here with Walter and Sean again.
Hi.
And today, we are going to have the debate of centuries.
This is a debate that we've been discussing for the past 3 years. We've had it at lunch.
It's been 3 years, really?
On and
On and off 3 years.
Oh, freshman year.
Freshman year, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the debate that we've all just thought about. We're all thinking, like, we've been at each other's necks. There was some blood, a little bit of blood.
No, there
a little
wasn't.
bit, yeah.
This is the discussion. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Which one is the best in your opinion? Let us know.
It is a fact. There is only one fact. It is breakfast.
So let's start with breakfast.
All right.
Speaking of which.
So let me bring up some, like, just generalized points.
Boo.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get a little fisticuffs here. So the reason I say breakfast is the breakfast has the most options. Breakfast, yeah. That let me speak my piece.
Agree to disagree.
Breakfast has so many options. Okay, and the glorious thing about it is that you can have it at any point of the day. You can have breakfast at breakfast time, at lunch, at dinner, and it feels natural. You can't have a cheeseburger at 9 in the morning. You can't have like a roast turkey at 6 a.m.
Roast turkey? What kind of example is that?
That
You're
is-
gonna have a roast turkey.
I mean, you can.
You can, but it doesn't taste good. Your taste buds, scientifically, your taste buds are more susceptible.
Did you just say taste books?
Yeah, can I have your source on that, Walter?
My source is
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.com.
Wikipedia.org.
It's an organization, so it's a reliable source by the terms of APA. So breakfast, you can have at any point of the day, and it feels delicious. It tastes good. Pancakes are my favorite meal.
Well, depending on
Pancakes
who
are
makes it.
good. To be
Pancakes are
fair,
good.
I do like pancakes.
And I can have a bowl of cereal at night, and it feels natural. You know, you can't have.
Not a fan.
We'll get to that one later. But those are my points. Those are my general points. Now, Joe, what is your position on this?
On breakfast?
Or what is your stance? Like, what side do you choose?
Oh, so I thought we were gonna go in order, but I guess I'm going next. So I believe that dinner is the best option. Now,
Wait, are you saying like which one's like most important, or which one's like
Which
the
one's
best
the
option?
best?
Like the best food.
the
The
best
best.
food
Okay,
group
got it.
and your
Got it.
lunch.
Yeah, I know. Well, I am lunch. You don't assign that for me. I believe it's lunch.
He
Okay.
believes it's lunch.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So anyway, so the reason why I pick dinner is because it has more options than breakfast. Because there are a million different things that you can do and have it for dinner. Whether it be pulled pork, hamburgers, cheesesteaks, pizza.
All of which can be lunch food.
Well, there's something there.
There are
actually.
specific things like fish, like a grilled tilapia or something. Delicious, by the way. It's specifically a dinner thing because you wouldn't have grilled tilapia for lunch. Additionally, it can also be the fanciest of the three groups. Breakfast is more like sit down and just eat it. Lunch, you can get kind of fancy, but dinner, if you're taking the lady or the boyfriend out for a nice meal,
Or the he, she out.
or
Tumblr.
yeah, right. you go out for dinner because you can have the nicest experience having dinner at a restaurant rather than lunch and or breakfast.
It's fair.
Those are my initial points. Thank you very much. Sean, make your case.
All right, to kind of counteract Joe's point with the dinner thing, I do agree, like, dinner is usually the most formal and all that stuff, but...
And the best.
Okay. The thing about lunch is that it can be formal as well. You talk about lunch...
But not as much.
You're talking about business casual. What do you do when you're in business?
from the waist
You
up.
take your
fun from the
clients...
waist down.
Shut up. You take your clients out to lunch.
Good
Talk
point.
strategy.
Then you take it to the
talk
hotel
marketing.
next.
You talk business.
He's
I feel
right.
like I'm gonna sneeze right now.
I can tell.
You talk
Not having you.
business at lunchtime. You
Or
bring
dinner.
your clients out to lunch.
Or dinner.
Oh, there's
Also-
our friends, the birds.
They probably can't hear it, but there's birds going on.
There's birds.
As you previously stated with dinner, everything you said for examples, pulled pork, pizza, cheesesteaks, burgers, all of which, in my opinion, are primarily lunch food.
That's true.
Which brings me to my main point.
Okay.
Gosh.
The art of the sandwich.
Oh.
See, but sandwich you can have for dinner too.
But it is a lunch.
Why would you have it for dinner
And
when
you
can
have a
it for
breakfast
lunch?
sandwich too.
That is true. Sandwich is actually pretty
Sandwiches are a
Sandwiches
generalized
are
thing.
traditionally lunch. You,
actually,
cannot deny
this
that.
is a completely random tangent, but would you consider a hot dog a sandwich?
It's not a sandwich.
It is
No.
not a sandwich.
It is
No,
not a
it's not a
sandwich.
I heard that the other
It's
day.
on
and
a
I was
bun.
like, holy
It's
It's
crap.
on a bun.
not-
It's not a
But,
sandwich.
but like a Subway hoagie or something.
That's
That's
not
the
a
same
That's
style.
not a bun. That's a hoagie roll.
That's true. Sandwiches and hoagies are a little different.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Back-
All right.
on it.
But back to the art of the sandwich.
The art of the sandwich.
Okay. So the art of a sandwich. You think lunch. You think sandwich.
Sandwich.
Sandwiches defined as food between two pieces of bread, usually involving but not limited to meat
Cheeses.
and other stuff and dairy products such as cheeses.
Cheeses, yes.
There are so many things you can do with a sandwich.
That is true.
You can make a French dip, for example.
That is true.
There are so many
I
different
like how
types-
you had to pause. You're
Shut up. There are so many different kinds of sandwiches you can have. Just kinds of bread. Pumpernickel bread. White bread.
which you can
rye
have
bread,
for dinner.
Rye bread. On toast. On a wrap. I think it's the same thing as a piece of toast, but I don't
On
know.
a wrap.
There's burgers. There's hoagies. There's submarines. There are so many kinds of sandwiches in the world, all primarily lunch food. You must like sandwiches. That is non-negotiable. I rest my
You're
case.
kind of sound like Trump. You're doing the whole like, I rest my case. Doing the whole little finger.
I was
with the
gonna
okay,
say
so-
That was the idea.
This debate is about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, not how great sandwiches are.
But,
Just
but
saying.
Well, my point is that lunch is primarily sandwiches in my eyes.
that's
at
See,
least.
but what if someone doesn't like a sandwich?
Then they don't like lunch. Pretty
Then
much.
they don't like lunch.
Sure.
But the thing is, my sense.
But I feel like most people like sandwiches though.
See, my thing is with breakfast is that like you can have breakfast, you can have brunch. Dinner is a thing, but not really. Dinner is just like kind of whatever.
See, but we can't get into like halfway points
Halfway,
because
but
it
the
needs
thing
to be
is-
definitive
Well, the thing with
breakfast, lunch,
breakfast
and
is
dinner.
that like breakfast can be nice. You can go out, go on a Sunday morning like we just did. Go on a Sunday morning, go out to breakfast. Kind of casual. Like after church or something like that. It's kind of nice, kind of quiet, kind of casual,
good
and you
song.
can have it at any time. I'm gonna get a singing contest.
Sorry, no
Singing
copyright,
contest.
please, no copyright.
Copyright. We'll just.
Um,
I think it's been more like 10 seconds worth of copyright.
so another thing that I'm thinking of is
Mhm.
most likely, I don't have specific statistics, but most likely, people are most likely to not eat breakfast like
Around.
during their day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Like-
there is brunch and there is breakfast.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying
those
like,
are
for,
two
like,
very
let's
traditional
say
things.
let's say a school day.
Yeah.
Majority of the students at
Don't
that
eat.
school will most likely probably not eat a substantial breakfast like Walter is talking
Mhm.
about.
Yes.
It's like for me, for example, it's usually just like a bowl of cereal, half a
Yeah,
bowl of cereal.
Another thing for breakfast, and
Why are you helping him?
I'm not helping him. I'm like, it's just a point.
Criticizing
So-
him.
Yes.
A lot of people on the weekends they do not eat breakfast.
Mm.
Why? They wake up at around
Late.
noon. That's why brunch is a thing. Because you have
yeah.
brunch on the weekends at like 11 or noon or around that after church,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can't overestimate lunch time, breakfast time.
Well, the thing is.
Because no, I'm not done yet.
It's getting heated.
Because of that, on the weekends, a lot of times lunch is the first meal of the day for a lot of people. I hear that cliche. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day because the first meal of the day gets you through your day until all that stuff. But
But a lot of people don't have
really,
it.
yeah, and also, why lunch is so good on the weekends? Because it can be the first meal of the day in a lot of cases. I'm gonna sneeze again.
I have tissues over there if you
Because-
need them.
yeah, I'll bring up some in a second. But because, also another reason why it's so important, it's
I can tell.
between.
Holding
It's
it.
between. There's like, but without lunch, there's like what, like an 8-hour period between breakfast and dinner, for most
Yeah.
people
Around,
at least.
yeah.
Because if you don't have that lunch around noon or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, if you're like a late goer, I guess,
Yeah.
then you're gonna be hungry like pretty much your entire day.
Yeah.
See, to
So you
finish up,
need something.
to
in the
finish up
middle.
my point about
I'm gonna get tissue.
people not eating breakfast as much as they should,
Mhm.
the meal that people eat the most almost every day
It's
is most
dinner.
likely some kind of dinner, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like, oh, it's late at night or
Yeah.
something like that, and it's time to have dinner.
Yes.
Breakfast, that's disgusting. The one thing I told you not to do, and you
Sneeze
do.
into the camera.
I didn't sneeze. I blew my nose away.
The meal that people miss the most is breakfast, and then like Sean said, you start with lunch, but lunch isn't that important because usually people are thinking about dinner.
Mhm.
Why though?
Why? Because A, it's usually the biggest meal that you'll have throughout the day,
Mhm.
and B,
That is true.
it can be the fanciest and the most filling, and it's usually the most creative and the most exciting because it is the widest category of
Okay.
foods.
Now, let me bring this up this point. You're bringing up the point that most
That-
people.
Never mind.
You're bringing up the point that most people wake up at noon. I don't know what kind of people you do.
Well, it's not. It's noon on the weekends, or like,
Well,
or,
on-
well, not
on the
noon.
weekends.
That's
just like
definitely
I
not
think
me.
you're
later
thinking
than
of-
usual when
I
I
think
skip
you're
breakfast.
thinking of the lazy people. Now, if you're like me, I wake up early. I'm an early bird. I'm also a late nighter. I can stay up for the majority of the day. And the thing is, today most people don't have breakfast. What if people did? If people had breakfast every single day, think of this. This world would be a much better place.
See,
If everyone had breakfast every day, you had people waking up. It is the most important meal of the day. You won't have people relying on coffee and 5 Hour Energy and getting addicted to that. If you
5
have,
Hour Energy.
if you had that sponsorship,
Not
by the way,
sponsored.
it is sponsored. It's sponsored by 5 Hour Energy, and we're also sponsored by HP Envy 7640. It can print, fax, scan, copy, web, and photo.
This
It's
is
actually-
not true.
it's actually a very nice printer.
It's a very nice printer. You should buy it. At
Stop.
HP.
We're not getting sponsors right now.
They're our old sponsor. You weren't here for
God.
that. But breakfast, if everyone had breakfast every single day, this world would be better.
See, but here's the thing. Even though breakfast is the most important meal of the day, apparently,
Mhm.
doesn't mean people are actually following through and making it
But
the
if they
best
did.
meal of the day.
But if they
But now
did.
you're thinking hypothetical, which isn't true.
But here's the thing. It is the most important meal of the day. It's just people don't take advantage of it.
Because here's the thing.
In the way that dinner can be the most, so many options. Most people aren't having buffets every night, you know, and most people are having maybe they'll have like a bowl of cereal, maybe they'll have like a cheeseburger or something. Who knows? I'm not speaking into the mic. Apologies. But you have to take advantage of those kind of things. That comes down to people and how they do it.
which is a different argument.
True.
But for me, for example, I'm usually like during the school week, I probably have like half a bowl of cereal before I go to school.
Yeah.
And even on the weekends, I'm not the kind of person to strive and like wake up and be like, I'm going to make myself a damn good breakfast. No, I just have cereal and get on with my day, which is the thing. Like, you keep saying that it's the most important meal of the day and that if people actually tried and made it, it could be better. But in reality, a lot of people aren't trying to
Mm.
make it a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, breakfast is that one thing where they're just like, oh, I'm going to eat some food and then I'm going to go with my day. You know, it's not like sit down, have a meal with some family or some friends, talk. Breakfast is a very single-minded, like, oh, I just need to have like some yogurt on the go, or hey, let me just have this quick bowl of oatmeal, then I'm out the door sort of deal.
Yeah, another thing with that, because like during the weekdays, like a lot of people don't have breakfast at all. Like,
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people. Like Joe's like the only person I know that actually eats like a quote unquote breakfast per se.
Half a bowl of cereal.
well,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
like,
what I
you
mean.
know.
At least you have something. Like what I do in the morning, I grab like a granola bar and like a glass of orange juice on the way out the door of school in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and that's all I really do. So, like, you can't like say it's most important if like it's not like an actual meal. Like you're not sitting down
Well, the
with
co-
people and having a civilized actual meal. You're grabbing things and going
Well,
to
the
work
thing
or
is,
school.
like
and things
the argument isn't if it's what's the best. What has the best?
But
kind of
we're
food.
saying it's not
Okay.
good because of those reasons.
Well, the reason is the thing is I'm living proof because I usually in the morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is living proof.
I am living
proof.
that I have every morning I have a little thing of yogurt, glass of orange juice, maybe like a banana if I'm feeling really fancy, and I have an English muffin, slab around some peanut butter on that. Takes me about 3 minutes to get that together. 3 minutes.
See, but
Takes-
not everyone has that luxury.
Everyone does have that luxury. It's just people aren't willing enough
Not
to
necessarily
get up
like
in the morning.
Sean is. He's rushing to get out the door
Well,
to
because
get
he's
to
not
school.
getting up early enough.
I get up at like 6 a.m. I have to shower and all that. I do take pretty long showers, but like
Cut down showers.
I mean, yeah.
You're a man.
I probably could do that, but like,
Was
at
that
the
supposed to
same
mean?
time, I
Take a
like
shower.
I like a nice long shower in the morning.
Me
before
too.
I go to
I
school.
enjoy
I
my
enjoy
showers.
that.
I
Yeah.
typically have showers at night. But
Yeah.
that's another podcast.
Different kind of
uh,
video.
Different podcast, different time. But back to breakfast. The idea essentially is that like if you get up early enough and you do that. Now yes, you're right. Lunch I feel can definitely have a lot of variety. You have your art of the sandwiches. You have
And
all
dinner
kinds
can
of-
have more.
and dinner you can have all kinds of stuff. You can be fancy with dinner. You can be formal with lunch. Breakfast, I reiterated this point, you can have it any point of the day and it still tastes good. See, that's the thing with breakfast. It can extend throughout the day. It can extend throughout the day, essentially. You can have your bowl of cinnamon bun. You can have that in the morning. You can have that in the afternoon. You can have it at night. You can even have it as dessert. You know, if you want to really treat yourself, cinnamon roll.
I mean, that is kind of true. Like I've seen people have like Belgian waffles for dessert. Like I know that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's like people have like Belgian waffles with like whipped cream, like chocolate syrup for dessert.
Well,
I've seen
and
that
I
as a
agree
thing.
too that you can have
And it's
breakfast
pretty damn- and
any
it's pretty
time
damn
of the
tasty.
day. Like I understand that point, and it makes sense because I do that a lot of the times. You know, I have cereal at night when it's like an off night and my parents aren't cooking and we don't get anything like out to eat or anything. You know, I'll just make a bowl of cereal, especially if I'm not too hungry, and I'll just make it work. You know, but like another thing that I thought of too is when you go out into the world, the majority of places are most likely dinner places.
Okay.
That
in
is
in
very
comparison
true.
to lunch and dinner.
That is true.
Fact,
Okay.
yes, I rest my case. Dinner is the best.
I mean, going back on Joe's point there, a lot of these quote unquote dinner places are open to early birds at 1 p.m. and past, which
So
means
the old-
Wait,
a
the
lot
old
of people go
The
there.
old people- Wait, how is early bird 1 p.m.? That's
Well,
like,
well, it's not early bird. It's just.
night.
I mean,
That's
early
night.
bird's
I
like
know.
4, but like
That's a-
whatever. I'm just saying, like a lot of
Which
these.
would be a dinner
A
time.
lot of these dinner places are open during lunchtime at like noon or 1 o'clock in the
Certain
afternoon,
days.
which means you are able to go there for lunch with business clients. Reiterating my point,
Mr. Trump over here,
business,
business
casual.
clients.
We got to build the wall.
Whoa,
I rest
okay,
my case.
alright. Well, the thing
See,
is,
but here's the thing: they also make more money during dinner time usually.
Well, yeah, that is true, but also, actually, yeah, it's true. Okay, that's decided that.
Oh,
Get
okay.
wrecked.
Well, I feel like you dinner and you lunch are kind of interchangeable. Like the majority of foods that you can have during lunch and dinner, you can kind of have around the same time. Yes, there are some unique things you could have at things you can have at dinner, and there are some not really many unique things you can have at lunch. But I feel like lunch and dinner are interchangeable. Breakfast, however, that's very unique. It's its own unique, spectrum of food. It's your own
There's
unique
no
taste.
spectrum of food.
There's-
what are you
there-
talking about?
Your grains, your vegetables, your juices.
Yeah, a food pyramid,
A
not a
food pyramid.
spectrum of food.
Spectrum. It can be. Hey. Michelle Obama made it a spectrum. I think.
That's my plate.
It's the plate. My plate, which is still in
Trademark.
trademarked by the U.S. government. Please don't kill us. So, I feel like breakfast is its own kind of entity, whereas lunch and dinner they're kind of two sides of the same coin. Breakfast is its own individual coin with two different sides.
I can see that.
That's why I say it's the most unique. It's the most flexible. That is my point with breakfast.
So I think all of us can agree that we are done with our arguments, correct? Right?
Yes.
Sure.
Do we have anything else to say? Any final words?
Final closing statements. Okay. All I'm gonna
Courtroom.
all I'm gonna say is art of the sandwich. Can't go wrong with it. That's a T-shirt idea, by the way. Art of the sandwich.
We should make
T-shirt
that
idea.
at the end of the podcast. That's a good idea.
That's going to be trending. That's what I'm calling it right now. I can clap if I want to.
But you're like,
Stop messing with me. Oh, I'm sorry. Art of the sandwich. You can do so many things with 2 pieces of bread and stuff inside of it.
Okay.
There are so many kinds of sandwiches. I can't even name all of them.
I
Like
will-
nobody can name all the kinds of
That
sandwiches
is
in the
true.
world.
I-
There are so many things you can do with sandwiches. Art of the sandwich. Rest my case.
I will say one of my favorite foods to have is a lunch item. Just saying.
Exactly.
That's true.
So
Is it a sandwich?
it is a
It
sandwich.
is
Well,
a
it's a
sandwich.
sandwich and soup.
Okay.
Grilled cheese and tomato
I mean,
soup.
that's pretty.
Classic.
Yeah, that's
That's
kind of
classic. Okay. That's fair.
So, as I said before, you're taking your lady friend or your boyfriend out,
Or your he, she friend.
or whomever it may be,
Yes.
and you want a nice time, you go out to dinner. You go to a nice place for dinner because there is the largest amount of restaurants are dinner places and
Okay.
have the most successful business during dinner time, except for lunch. And dinner has the most variety. It is usually the time where you sit down with your family or your friends and you have a meal, and it's, in my opinion, usually the most enjoyable.
Okay.
There's a lot of different options, and I know personally that I always look forward to dinner time because I know my mom and the places that we have around here usually have pretty good food.
Okay.
So I look forward to that. So I hope you vote for dinner. It's a great time. Merry, yes.
Mary,
Mary, yes.
Mary, yes.
Go dinner.
Mary Jo's birthday.
Mary Jo's
Yes.
birthday. I say breakfast is still superior. It's on its own different coin. Breakfast is on its own different kind of level, different plane of existence in terms of the food realm. Okay.
The food.
It is
What
the
are
most
these things you're talking about? The
flexible.
food realm,
That-
the
that-
food
that-
He's
that is
getting,
my
spectrum.
he's
case.
getting desperate. He's making up terms.
No.
Exactly.
Fools.
His case is false.
How
Do
about
not vote for him.
Mine is flexible. For patron. Mine is the most flexible. You can have breakfast at any time of the day, and it feels natural. Imagine trying to have a burger or a steak at like 9 a.m. You're gonna be like,
There
ew.
are breakfast burgers.
Yes,
There are breakfast burgers.
there are breakfast burgers, but it is a breakfast.
Which
It
can
is a
also be
breakfast
eaten at
food.
lunchtime.
Lunch is kind of like that kind of thing that everyone kind of just forgets about.
That's
I-
not true at all.
I forget about lunch
literally
every
had a
day.
10
We
minute
just had the 10-minute
about how-
conversation about how no one eats breakfast.
However, if everyone did eat breakfast, I think it's personally
See, now
best.
you're thinking hypotheticals again.
We're gonna get to hypotheticals later.
Okay,
I think we're getting a little heated. We're
controversy is over.
Controversy over.
Let's take a vote
Mm-hmm.
on top, or let's say the
Let's-
order.
the
that we
order, the
think.
order, okay,
Now,
that's fair.
obviously, the ones that we argued for are going to be the first ones.
Yes.
So it comes down to second and third.
Okay,
So
so-
Walter, why don't you go first?
So for me, I'd have to go.
Excuse me.
I'd have to. Thank you. I'd have to go. Breakfast number 1, dinner number 2, lunch number 3.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you,
How
Sean?
about you, Sean?
Okay, obviously lunch number 1, Artemis sandwich. I'm gonna keep repeating that, by the way. Number 2, I would say dinner, because like Joe, I do look forward to dinner a good amount. I
Okay.
do like dinner food. I
Okay.
love pasta. I love things like that. I love, like, one of my favorite dinners is actually like chicken parm. I
Okay,
love
chicken parm, yeah.
chicken
No,
parm.
you're
With like
right.
a side
That's
of
good.
like,
Oh,
with a
wait,
side like
A
noodles.
dinner item.
Okay.
I do like chicken parm. Chicken parm's
Okay.
good. Also veal parm.
Ooh.
Mwah! Okay.
Mwah.
And that leaves breakfast at number 3.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean I do like a lot of kinds of breakfast food. Like I love omelets, I like eggs, I like breakfast sandwiches, I like pancakes, I like waffles. I hate French toast. People think I'm so weird, but I
That's
hate
a little
it.
weird.
It is weird, but I hate it.
That reminds me of a story.
We'll get to that in the
Different time.
time.
But yeah, I just like I do like breakfast food a lot, but just my point, a lot of people don't eat breakfast.
Mhm.
It's not important to a lot
And
of people, and it's not important to me.
Fair.
I think we can all come to a consensus that we all like food. Like,
Yes.
Even though we make these arguments, in reality, we
all love food.
all love like
The love of the
eggs and food. You know, food is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But my order would
Mhm.
probably be dinner, lunch, and breakfast.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going off of the same preface of Sean. Like, I do enjoy a nice breakfast. Like the breakfast we had this morning. If I could do that a lot of the times, I would. But unfortunately, just with timing and stuff, you know, life isn't perfect.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I still love breakfast and I love cereal too. But I think Sean, like you said, lunch has a lot of options. The art of the sandwich.
Fair enough.
Trademark.
I will contest that. The art of the sandwich is pretty good.
But I still believe that dinner is the best because it's the most like home feeling kind of meal, you know. But with that, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you
Yes.
think breakfast is the best, lunch is the best, or dinner is the best?
And
Let
put
us
your
know.
order. And put your order too. Like which one? Like 1, 2, 3. Which
Right,
one's your favorite?
exactly.
And if you want to get crazy, you could add in maybe like in between times like brunch and dinner
maybe, yeah.
or Brenner
Brenner.
or
It's just breakfast for
hinting
dinner.
at
It's
our
not Brenner.
4th co-host if he ever comes on,
If he wakes
dessert.
up before
if he
9 a.m.
wakes up,
Dessert,
he's the kind
yeah.
of person who wakes up. He's your
Yeah,
early
he's
bird.
the guy who doesn't need
He's the
breakfast.
person who
Yeah,
wakes
there
up
you
in
go.
the
Or
morning.
lunch sometimes.
Exactly.
But
He's-
anyway.
yes.
Just because we had this debate doesn't mean we hate each other. We still like each other. All food, for the most part, is amazing.
All right, before we wrap this up,
I swear to God, if you have more arguments.
no, it's no more arguments.
Okay.
I have another topic. All right, so
Not right now.
no, why not?
Off,
Because
off.
if not, we can put
Cut
it.
this one out.
We can put it in another episode if we want to. But because talking about food, I was thinking we could do favorite food.
Favorite food. Okay.
Okay, that
So I feel like that's
like
a good
in
one.
this one or a separate?
In this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
'Cause
can
we
do
have-
that.
we have
We can
time.
do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
All right.
okay, so I'll start because I came up with it. So I already told you chicken parm. I love chicken parm.
Right.
But another thing I would say, this is dinner food, by the way. I would say chicken enchiladas are my favorite
I
food.
know.
And I never have them because my entire family hates chicken enchiladas, and I'm so mad at them. But every time we go to like a Mexican restaurant, I get
You
them
and me
every
have a date to tortilla press
time.
one of these days.
I know.
Mm.
I am so down. But I love enchiladas, the chicken, the sauce, whatever the enchilada sauce, it's so good. Mwah. But like, I just love enchiladas. They're just so good. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Anyway.
Walter. What's your favorite food?
If you
Favorite
haven't
food.
tried them, try them. You're
Favorite
welcome.
food. My favorite food, I gotta say, is a breakfast food. It is pancakes. I'm a pancake guy. I have eaten 21 pancakes in one sitting. My nickname by some of my family is Flapjack, which is a type of pancake. Or
Is it really?
Yeah, actually, my grandparents call me Flapjack.
That's also that weird Cartoon Network show.
That was an
I
excellent.
hate-
that was
I hated
that
that
was an
show.
excellent show.
That show was horrible. That show
Yeah.
was like creepy. That show was like scared me. Like the
Oh,
weird
yeah.
animation style.
Different podcast.
Different podcast.
Yeah.
But no, pancakes are my favorite. I just love them. Classic, you know. I will say another favorite of my food is a breakfast, or not breakfast, a lunchy dinner kind of food. Burgers. Love me a good old fashioned burger with some fries, you know, and nice Long Island iced tea if I'm feeling expensive. But
Long
I
Island
like
iced
this.
tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't those spiked normally?
Typically, yes. Different
That
podcast.
explains a lot.
I was drunk before this. But yes, so pancakes is my favorite. Also like burgers, which is another thing. Now, Joe, what is yours?
Lunch food.
So obviously, as I mentioned before, one of my favorite, if I can make it, I will, or if I feel like making it, is grilled cheese and tomato soup. That is probably that is my favorite lunchtime food, because it's just like, it's such a classic combination, and I have no idea what it is, but it's just so good. Sorry if you hear Sean in the background blowing
I'm sorry,
his
guys. I'm
nose.
sick.
Blowing.
It's disgusting content. So, another one of my favorite foods, even though I can't make it myself.
I'm so sorry.
You should have taken a Mucinex before you came in.
This is not sponsored by Mucinex, but
No,
it is
it's not.
sponsored by Pure Water.
Anyway,
No, it's not.
so my favorite dinner time, if I can have it, is Chinese takeout.
Ooh,
Specifically,
Oh, I love Chinese
all
food.
I
Oh my
need, all I need in my life for dinner and Chinese food is wonton soup, fried shrimp, and like
Oh, no.
pork fried rice with some of that red sauce, and I can literally die happy.
Another thing, mushi pork.
Never
Those
had
those
it.
little like pancake, like tortilla things you
yeah, I know
get.
you're talking about, yeah.
That stuff is so
Mm.
good. I love that stuff. That's like honestly one of my favorite foods too. Like
Mm.
this mushi pork, it's so good. It's kind of like a fajita, but it's like Chinese. I mean, you just gotta try it. Trust me, it's so good.
But yeah, I would say take out Chinese. But if I had to pick a meal that I could actually make at home,
Mm-hmm.
actually, so there's this one thing that my mom makes. It's like this stew. It's like a hunter stew, so it's like
Mhm.
really thick,
Okay.
and it's like chicken that has like the bone in it. I don't know. I think it's like chicken thigh or something.
Okay.
And then she throws in like carrots, like pearl onions, like mushrooms, and it's like braised in like wine. And she puts it in a crock pot and just lets it sit for like 6 hours. I kid you not.
Mm.
The meat, you touch the meat and it falls off the bone,
Oh,
and it is literally the best thing I've ever tasted that my mom has made. It is so good.
Mm.
I call
honestly,
it purple chicken.
honestly, any kind of stew is really good.
Stew, yeah,
Like,
stew,
stew is-
is
stew is
really
very
good.
good.
Okay, yeah, we can agree on that.
And like what we usually do is she usually makes like mashed potatoes. So you put mashed potatoes on the bottom and then like the stew. It's so good.
People are getting hungry right now.
Yeah, I
it's
bet you're
very
eating
good.
some nice food after this right now.
But-
It'd be good.
Anyway, that concludes this podcast, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah. I think we've wrapped up,
Let
yeah.
us know about your order as your favorite breakfast, lunch, or dinner. What's your order? 1, 2, 3. Leave it in the comments. And also let us know your favorite food and which category it falls under. We would really appreciate it and would like to know because it's cool to know that kind of stuff.
And hey, if you have any topics, if things you want to discuss, anything you want to discuss, let us know in the comments. Let us know. Like, favorite, subscribe, do all that glorious things.
It's a
you know.
great time.
It's a great time to
Join the notification squad.
join the notification squad.
Notification squad.
Ring that bell, guys. Come on,
Um,
subscribe.
And let us know what we can do. Like Walter said, leave some topics. We have plenty of topics to talk about, but if you want us to talk about something specific, we always can. We don't mind at all. And any last words, boys?
That
I'm
is
good.
it. That
All
is
right.
it.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. See.
Yeet.